afternoon, good evening, good morning, whichever one it happens to be, wherever you are. It's Wednesday, 3 p.m. where I am in Outremont in Quebec. And yeah, it's nice to be back. We've got a special guest for you coming up later in the stream, all the way from Toronto. It's Christine Bougie. Let us know where you're watching from, as this is a pretty guitar-focused episode. I was going to say exercise. It's an exercise too. Let us know who your favorite guitar player is, because I want to know. I'm going to get started with an old song of mine called Once, and then we're going to bring in our special guest. But yeah, it's good to be back.
Soft exhaust seep still makes you creep. The tide will decipher all. Steps ring sweet, the concrete feet, a purpose that follows the fall. Fight that need to go by feel. The voices that count will call. You're back on the right side now. Burn through the middle, but you stick to the sides and crawl up the right shore of the arm. Drained of all experience, you're crashing lines again. Once you didn't know. Once you didn't know, once you didn't know, once you didn't know, once you didn't know, once you didn't know. When faith is lost, all sense of you are gone. But the worst of it, you won't fight it alone. As alone as you like, when drained of all experience, you're crashing lines again. It speaks so much of cowardice. Stay silent just the same. But once you didn't know, once you didn't know, once you didn't know. But once you didn't know, once you didn't know, once you didn't know. But once you didn't know, once you didn't know, once you didn't know. But once you didn't know, once you didn't know, once you didn't know.
That's Once from the first record. Yeah, welcome along everybody. Please do share and like the stream if you want to spread the word around a little bit. But yes, without further ado, why don't we bring in our special guest all the way from Toronto. It's Christine Bougie. Christine, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good, yeah. A little scatterbrained this afternoon,
Yeah.
but the calm will come, I think.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's great to have you on. I often do this, and I was saying this to you right before, but I just realized I wasn't actually totally even sure how to say your last name because I'd read it, but I hadn't spoken it out loud, I don't think. But then you told me that it's French for candle.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, there's
nice.
a more modern usage of bougie, nowadays, but it's just a French word. Yeah.
Just a French word.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's wonderful to have you on. I've been hearing about you for years. I think I saw you play with the Queer Songbook Orchestra in when was that? Last summer or something?
I think it was the summer or the spring.
Yeah.
And did we meet at a party? Did we hang out at Steph's?
Well, yes, at my old house. I think we
Okay.
we met very briefly there last year, and but yeah, I've been hearing your name for years. You've been involved in so many different projects. Your last record, which I'm sure we'll get onto, was I think Josh Van Tassel did a lot of work with it, and Josh is somebody that I've collaborated with in the past.
Nice.
And yeah, you've played with the Weather Station, with Bahamas, with who else? You should let us know.
Those are two big ones. I put on a bunch of my own records. I've done a lot with Josh, actually. Like, we've done my last, I think all of my records except the first two I've worked on with Josh.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Cool. And
he's a big collaborator.
yeah, and I feel like it was him that I was initially hearing your name from, like way back when. But yes, it's great. This stream just gives me a great opportunity to like make these connections finally. So it's wonderful to have you on. I've been listening to your album all week.
Sweet.
And it's really, really beautiful stuff. And yeah, I definitely want to kind of like get into some guitar talk with you around that. But did you just want to like get right into it and play as a piece?
I was gonna play something from the new. I might start with something from an older record, actually.
We'll go chronologically.
Yeah, chronologically. This will be the oldest one then. Okay, I'm gonna try to do a truly solo piece with no bells and whistles.
Beautiful. Yes.
Thanks.
So nice. So what was the piece called that you just played?
That's called Me Her. And I did write it on lap steel, but I've been like adapting it for guitar. It's so hard to play like solo lap steel in a way. It feels like
you don't have the rhythmic
exactly.
sort
it's
of
like solo saxophone or something. Yeah. which is doable, but it's just so naked, you know. So it's nice to have a little bit of something to play with.
Yeah. No, super beautiful.
Thank you.
I've been wondering sort of like how you got into this world in the first place, like sort of like did you start on the guitar? Was that like your first instrument? Like
Yeah. I mean, I played piano when I was really little, but took some lessons and quit lessons too, which was a
I
big
did that
deal
too.
when I was little. Yeah. It felt good to quit.
yeah.
It felt like a big deal, and nice that it like also wasn't a big deal, like to my parents. And then I picked up guitar maybe when I was 10 years old, and my dad taught me a few things, and I kind of was like off and running from that.
And so and has it always been sort of, because with the last record, it is this, you know, this guitar record, like that's very much the focus of it. So when you were kind of getting into it, were you kind of ever singing as well, or kind of accompanying people, or always kind of like going down that the solo performer?
I think those two things kind of like have always happened at the same time, where I've been playing instrumental guitar. Even when I started playing guitar, like at 10 and 12, I was recording like instrumental pieces that I was making up and like using two ghetto blasters to kind of like do an overdubbing thing.
Oh, nice.
And like layering multi-tracking with my primitive tools. So I did that alongside accompanying other people, which I love to do, and they kind of feed into each other. But yeah, they're kind of it's like a bimodal thing for me. Like I do one and I do the other, and one happens maybe in one season and another happens in another season. Yeah.
And you grew up in Toronto, or you moved there later on?
I grew up in St. Catharines and moved to Toronto to go to school for guitar. So I did like study guitar at Humber College. Yeah. When I was like 19, I guess.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And I guess for the non-Canadian viewers, St. Catharines is what, like an hour outside of Toronto, something like that, like along the
like an hour and a
along the
half
lake.
south, like close to Niagara Falls.
Yeah, we had Tony Decker on a few weeks back, and he was sort of in that zone a little bit, I think.
Yeah, I didn't know him then, but I know him now, and yeah, good players from St. Catharines.
Yeah. Marshall Bureau also is. He's played on a lot of my records. Wonderful musician he lives in St. Catharines, right? I'm not.
He does. I think he moved here for a bit, and then he moved back a few years ago. So, yeah.
So yeah, a place to be apparently.
I mean, it's just as expensive. Maybe it's getting as expensive as Toronto is, but I've considered, maybe one day I'll end up back there.
Yeah.
We don't know, but yeah.
It is a real challenge. Like Montreal historically has been like quite a cheap city in the last 20, 30 years, and things are getting more and more expensive, but I think it's still one of the more affordable places to live. But yeah, it's like trying to operate as a musician is quite difficult in these situations. And it seems like Toronto, it's like quite a lot worse and just continuing to get more and more expensive.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen when, artists are kind of pushed out in that way, but I don't know where we'll go. I mean, it's just expensive even an hour out this way or that way.
Yeah.
But lucky for now to be here, so making it work,
And this is your studio that we're flying into right now?
Yeah, this is my studio, and I'm very lucky to have this space as well, to like have all my gear set up and not be just playing in the corner of my apartment. So.
And you share that with, I guess there's other rooms with other musicians.
Yeah, this space down here is mine, but Josh Van Tassel actually used to have the space above me, and before he moved back out to Nova Scotia. So he got me into this building, and Donovan Woods has a space upstairs. So yeah, it's kind of a little music production hub.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's sweet.
Cool. Would you like to give us another piece?
Sure. Yeah, I'm going to do another one. Another one that was, kind of a lap steel thing, but again, adapting it a bit. But I might try to use a little bit of a sonic trickery to make it a little fuller.
Right before you get going, just if anybody has any questions for Christine, please put them in the chat there and let us know. gorgeous. That's absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
Helping me to calm down. Just relax. Relax.
Yeah, I'm trying to work on some ambient stuff and like playing with these little accompanying like twinkly bits that can kind of react to what I'm playing. It's tricky, like if your music has, changes, chord changes, because you can't have things overlapping and it's going to clash. But yeah, it's a trick.
Finding the ways. It's a little bit like, I always think about it like sort of like with loops or with other kind of processing that's kind of creating something to work against. It's like you're playing with another person almost. It's like a little bit
that's
that
what
situation.
That's what I want. That's what I'm trying to create, but it's so hard, Like, yeah, even playing with one person doing any minimal amount of sound, it feels so much better than just being alone with it. But
it sounds gorgeous. So you're doing it right. I'm loving it.
I'm working on it. Thank you.
So nice. And yeah, while you were playing there, Scott donated. Thank you, Scott, for the donation. There's a link in the video description. If you want to support the stream, you can support by PayPal or Interac or credit card. And any amount is very much appreciated. And you've been keeping this thing going here for 3 years, which is crazy, but lovely. So yeah, thank you for that. And 50% of the donations each week go to the guest artist, which this week is Christine Bougie /Candle, as we have been discussing.
Or spark plug.
Is it Bougie also means spark plug?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like dictionary definition. So
as somebody who lives in Quebec and might possibly break down on the highway at some point, this is a very, very useful piece of information.
Yes, bougie, exactly.
Sweet. So, your record, Firm Believer, came out in 2021. Is that right?
Yeah,
so,
I recorded it mostly during the pandemic, kind of like half and half, maybe crossed over. I started before things got locked down and finished after they did. So,
and yeah, really, really beautiful record. As I said, there's a link in the video description, so you can find it there. Have you been working on new things?
I'm working on new stuff. Yeah, I'm working on some more ambient music. I've been doing some film like scoring and kind of getting into that a bit more and wanting to just make an full album of that rather than just doing it to picture. So yeah, it's a challenge to write. I mean, maybe as you can tell, like the stuff that I tend to write is really melodic and it is really melody like focused, but I want to, sometimes I'm like writing stuff like that and then stripping away melody and just seeing what's kind of underneath it and letting that be enough of a bed of something.
Yeah.
So that's currently what I'm working on. Probably set to put that out within the year, maybe like the end of the year. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. There's something about the film music. I guess it's almost sort of like what we're talking about with the other musicians in the room or the other elements. It's like your music is like part of the whole thing. And like whenever I've done soundtrack work, every single time it's like I'll play something over the footage that I'm watching and then I'll go back to it and I'll like take half of it out and then I'll watch it again and I'll take another half of it out and you just end up with like so very little. And it's quite liberating though in some ways, I think, to just kind of like the amount of space that you then are allowed to kind of work with. It's quite beautiful.
Yeah, it's a weird sort of like counterintuitive challenge that it's enough to have space, and I don't know why I get into that zone where I'm like, it needs to be filled. But it feels like something worth working on is like allowing space and being sort of confident to just let it be what it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Be quite a meditative practice almost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Amazing. And as far as sort of like other collaborative works coming up, do you have any concerts or tours or recording things in the work that you can speak about, of course, you know?
Yeah, what am I doing? Yeah, I'm playing a lot of music with my partner, Lydia Prasad. We're doing some touring coming up. I mean, it's not really announced yet, so I won't announce it, but accompanying her on some stuff. And with AFI, with Bahamas, we'll be touring in the fall, I think is the plan. Okay. We've got some dates firming up. And a new record will come out with that.
Amazing.
But yeah, that's kind of it for now. Like the few months at the beginning of the year are very spacious and empty for me, and I'm just kind of spending a lot of time down here writing and making stuff.
Beautiful. Well, I'm
Yeah.
so glad you could join us here as well. I'm glad it worked out well for us that it was a little calmer. And so, will you be spending some time in Nova Scotia as well? Because didn't Afi move out to Nova Scotia as well?
He did move to Nova Scotia.
Part of the mass migration
I
wave.
might be going out there a bit in the spring, but I'm not sure yet. But most people will just be touring around like North America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Would you like to give us another piece?
Yes, for sure. I'll do something from the new record.
Beautiful. Is this an exclusive? Will this be the first?
Oh, no, sorry, not the the newest record,
Okay.
the one that I released that you've been listening to. Yeah, I don't have anything from the new one to play yet. I don't know how I'll ever play that stuff because it's so, recording focused.
Mm-hmm.
But no, this is from the Firm Believer record, and I'm gonna try to play a bit of lap steel with this too, but
Yes.
some guitar and some steel. Take this off again.
That's Christine Bougie,
out.
live from Toronto. That's beautiful. Just magic.
you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for that. Karen,
thanks.
Karen was asking what the name of the song was.
This is called To You.
To you. Okay.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah, and yeah, lots of clapping hands and people just loving what's going on there. Just like really, really magic. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me on this.
Yeah. Maybe while we've got you here, like I find that it's a great space to be able to dig in a little bit to sort of like what's going on sometimes, because like, you know, if you're watching a show or something, you're not gonna like kind of take a couple minute break and be like, so what's this instrument and how does it work? But like I think before I moved to North America, I was not familiar with the lap steel guitar. Like I definitely heard it, but like it was not something that I really even understood what it worked. So basically, do you want to tell us what's going on with the instrument?
lap steel. Yeah, for sure. It's
You can give us a little guided tour.
I'll show you the lap steel. It's a Hawaiian instrument originally. This is a 50s, like a 1959,
Oh, nice.
Gibson. It's a bit different than like typical like national steels that have like the strings are a little bit, you can't really tell maybe, but they're like a little bit wider, like the spacing in them is almost like a nylon string guitar.
And there's no frets, right? The strings are like quite a bit higher above the neck.
They're super high. You're not pushing on anything. This is just a picture of a fretboard. And I've lost half of the screws for it, so it really kind of bounces around. And it's funny that mine has numbers. Like, people think that's funny, but I like it. But it's just a visual cue as to where you're playing. But it's a very limited instrument. You know, you can't really do like with pedal steel. You can change the tuning of the strings like as you're pushing on pedals, and with lap steel, it's just this is it. You know, so
and you're playing it with a metal bar. Is that?
Yeah,
is that right?
I use this is kind of like a bar that you would use for pedal steel. It's a bit heavier, but you can do you can do like slants. I don't know if you can see this. Like you can do this kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
A little bit with I don't do very much of that, but that's as like tricky as you can get with the lap steel. Otherwise, you have to play whatever is exactly in this parallel.
And you're playing with a volume pedal that your foot's controlling, right? To kind of like to bring those swells in, because I feel like that's a really kind of classic lap steel sound, like the kind of the sustained note, the more kind of string-like experience with it.
It is a bit more like pedal steel, honestly, to play with so much swelling. I think with lap steel, there's a lot of like more attack kind of playing, like especially in like the 1940s maybe. But it just sounds so nice to like swell into things and kind of
At the risk of geeking out entirely, what tuning are you using for that? Are you in a standard tuning? Or are you?
I'm in a C6 tuning, so I'm doing like, but it's kind of a weird version that I altered from a standard C6. So this is G C G A C E.
Okay.
So you have a minor chord on top, minor triad, which could be like the top of a major chord as well, depending on how you hear it. But if you strum all the way across, you have a 6 chord.
Okay.
So it's like it's very Hawaiian. You do that, you know.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank
Which
you
is
for
also
that.
kind of like country kind of.
Yeah. Okay, and so that's a tuning that would get used in a lot of country music typically, or?
I think so. I think it's just 6 tunings are really nice for country. It's not as bluesy, you know, have like flat 7s and I think a lot of like lap steel players play with multiple tunings and different steels and different tunings. And I just stick with this. It's like enough to work with this tuning for me.
Yeah.
But
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much for the tour. And
Yeah.
and thanks to, like, while you were playing there, quite a few people donated. So thanks to Stacey and Jacqueline and Chris for the donations. Again, if you want to support the stream, not the scream. If you want to support the stream, 50% of the donations every week go to the guest artist, and there's a link in the video description to donate through Interact, PayPal, or credit card. So that's the housekeeping bit. Thank you so much for coming on. It's been just like such a treat to have you, to finally like get to kind of connect a little bit. As I've been saying, there's a link in the video description for where you can find Christine's music, and just follow along so you can see when you'll get to see a live performance that, hopefully there's something coming up for any new releases we'll get to see.
for sure, I'll do some.
Beautiful. Cool. Well, I'm gonna keep on going and play a few more songs. We're gonna say goodbye to Christine for now. So again, thank you so much for joining
Thanks,
us.
Tim.
It's Christine Bougie, everyone, live from Toronto. That was wonderful. Very calming, like exactly what I needed. And worth pointing out that Christine was somebody that I put a call out a few months back to see who you wanted to join as guests on the stream, and I think it was Greg in Ottawa suggested Christine, and so we made it happen. So keep that coming. Put a message in the chat, put a comment under the video if you're watching after the fact, or just send me a message. Let me know who you want to see on here playing some music. That was wonderful. I'm going to keep on going. I had some requests. I'm going to take some more requests as well. But last week, Frank in Münster, Germany, requested a song by a Canadian group by the name of the Weaker Thans. And I learnt it and went down a rabbit hole, or many rabbit holes, which I will get into after I play it. But it's called Illustrated Bible Stories for Children by the Weaker Thans. And this is it.
Morning bright rise, go over your lines, eyeing your carefully crafted disguise. We'd all like to sing, it's easy to sigh, to sprinkle a handful of plausible lies. Our buildings will rise, poke out our own eyes, publicly smile and privately frown. A weeping reprise, please hear my cries. I'd like to pull just this one building down. So turn off the sky, head in my hands, and I keep me warm, white windowsill. Blinded by heart, cut my hair short, eyeless in Gaza with the slaves at the mill.
It's just a little one, just a short little guy. That's Illustrated Bible Stories for Children by the Weaker Thans. And it totally sent me down a rabbit hole, because like the last line is eyeless in Gaza with the slaves at the mill, and I was like, what's that all about? And it's a line from a Milton, what do you call it? Epic drama? I don't know. A Milton story called Samson, and then whatever Samson's last name was. Samson, the old Bible, Old Testament character. So then I just kind of like went into this wormhole of like diving into Milton, like what was the story about, and like because I knew that Samson had his hair cut off because that was the source of his strength, but I guess they poked his eyes out as well, which wasn't very nice. And then the Milton thing, because I was kind of reading up on the Milton, on the history of his writing, and apparently he took a little break from writing to go and work for Oliver Cromwell, which I didn't realize. There's a thing for you. And then I was thinking about like Oliver Cromwell. Yeah, so that was like the last king that was overthrown was called Charles. Just a thought. Anyway, if there's something you'd like to hear, pop it in the chat or use the request widget on Twitch. Anna's put Gunshot in there, so I'm going to play that. One of my old songs. I feel like there were some other elements of that wormhole that I've forgotten about already. Let me have a see. I tried to write it down so I would forget. But yeah, I had no idea that he'd worked for Oliver Cromwell. In my head, he was a little bit before that time. And also in that article, it mentioned that Paradise Lost, his kind of classic epic, was originally, it had a working title of Adam Unparadised. I think Paradise Lost was a better choice. I think that was the right choice. This is Gunshy by me. You're watching Frank. That's for you. Such a good song and total wormhole. Anyway.
As I called it, no one saw it. Breathe in, hold it, wash over, ignore it. Step back, shake it, voracious. I know, fully loaded, too anxious to let go. Calm down, see now the rancor that pours out. Comfort is sought out in ways that bring us down. Reach for the wrong side, we hold it, body to sky, fully loaded, too gunshot to let go. We look to them for wisdom when they don't know.
That's Gunshine from the last record. And relax. Yeah, keep your requests coming in. That's the last one on the list. I want to know what to play. And for those watching on Twitch, if you type in !RR, it will give you a random choice from the songs that I have there. If anybody's watching here for the first time, a request to subscribe. I go live every Wednesday on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. So whichever platform you're watching, if you want to give it a little follow and make sure you hit the little bell notification on Twitch or YouTube to make sure that you get notified when I go live, then it's a good idea. There'll be more guests coming up. We have Hannah Epperson coming up in a couple of weeks, an amazing violin player songwriter from the West Coast. So yeah, I'm gonna play Grace and then get to that request from Abby. But let me know what you want to hear. Record. For anybody tuning in late, let me know where you're watching from, and please like and share the stream. Karine would like a pre-taste of the songs that are to come for the little tour out east. I am heading out to Nova Scotia at the end of next month to play 3 shows. I've got a little image for that, I believe. Where is it? Where did I put it? This one? Yes. So end of February, I'm going to be up in Nova Scotia, PICTOU up on the North Shore, and then a couple of shows in Halifax. There's a ticket link in the video description, and I'll post it in Twitch for the people watching over there. So yeah, tickets are selling fast, so get yours while you can. And I hope to see some of you out there. But I'm gonna play some new stuff out there. So yeah, what should I play? I'll play one. So this is for you, Karin. This is Moths, which is one that I've been working on for the last little bit, and it's sort of about forgotten about things, and time passing, and yeah, sort of how yesterday in a lot of ways is as far away as, I don't know, 100 years ago. Like, when it's past, it's done. I'm still figuring it out. But yeah, this is Moths.
Time flies slowly. Every morning, dear, we should fall through the cracks between the words. We'll fall slowly. We'll fall slowly. So slowly. We'll fall slowly.
lots of moths. It's for Karine. Okay, let's keep it going. I see a Björk song in there. That's always a good request. There's another one that I'm working on of hers. I really want to play Unravel. That's one of my favorite ever Björk songs. And was looking into shipbuilding as well. That what's his chops? Robert Wyatt. Thanks so much, Tino, for the donation. Again, there's a link in the video description if you want to support. It means a lot. It's great to see people watching from Germany and the States, all over Canada. If you didn't say where you're watching from yet, and you never have, let me know, because I want to know. Okay. So yeah, this is yoga. Or yoga? Yoga. I think it's yoga. If there's any Icelanders out there, let us know how to say J-O-G-A. I know it's about her friend in Iceland, but I forget how the J is pronounced. Anyway, this is that.
All those accidents that happen, follow the dots. Coincidence makes sense only with you. You don't have to speak. I feel emotional landscapes. They puzzle me. The riddle gets solved, and you push me up to this state of emergency. How beautiful to be state of emergency is where I long to be. All that no one sees, you see what's inside of me. Every nerve that hurts, you heal deep inside of you. You no longer speak. I feel emotional landscapes. They puzzle me and confuse. Then the riddle gets solved, and you push me up to this state of emergency. How beautiful to be state of emergency is where I long to be. State of emergency. How beautiful to be state of emergency is where I long to be.
Yoga by Björk. She also has a beautiful song in Icelandic that I've been trying to learn. And I'm pretty sure it has the line in it. Like sometimes you see things in Icelandic or other Scandinavian languages and it's like, that's actually just really close to English. But I think it had the line Lifi Trut, which was like true to life. Lifi Trut. I'm gonna have a go at that Pixies song, I think. I'm gonna switch this over to the Spanish guitar Sabrina, I forgive you for being late. It's okay. Thank you for tuning in. Yeah, I'm gonna play this one and then one more. If you want to request something, get it in there. Bonus points for a paper beat scissors request. I'm gonna be that much more likely to play it if it's a request of one of my songs. But here's a bit of Pixies for you. Probably a good cricket moment with a bit of reverb on. If you're tuning in late, you can go back and watch the full stream. We had a wonderful guest on from Toronto, Christine Bougie. Really, really beautiful guitar songs today. Very relaxing, very peaceful, very beautiful. And I recommend it. I recommend popping in and rewinding and checking it out. And that's the case for all of these videos. When you don't have to just watch live, there's still the same links will work, and you can rewind and watch the thing from the start if you're ever late to a stream. At some point, I'm just going to take them all down off the internet, because right now all like 150 or however many there are just like hanging out there, and some of them are better than others. Okay. Oh, Sabrina, do you have another request? I can't play that one. I'll learn it for soon, because I want to play that one more often. It never gets played, but if you have another paper beat scissors request, I would be very grateful. Let's see if we can remember how this goes. It's like that. Okay. Pixies. The Pixies. I almost forgot entirely about the BANDCAMP. You need to see what's going on in the garden this week. It's just a little brief one this time. Just a quick moment in the backyard in Lancashire. This is but it's quite eventful. Brief but eventful. So you got to watch. Keep an eye on the left side of the screen. It's just a little flying falling squirrel, and I thought it was a little bit too quick to really take in what's happening. So I'm gonna show it again in slow motion. So look at that, just flying out the trees. Anyway, that's all you're getting for this week. For some reason, squirrel is the hardest word to say in any language. It's Eichhörnchen in German and écureuil in French, but then like any non-native English speaker, and plenty of native English speakers just really have a problem saying the word squirrel. It's only one syllable. It's one syllable in North American. It's squirrel. S-Q-U-I-R-L. I'm going to finish with yes, let me know what squirrel is in Italian, please, Abby. This is very important information. I'm going to play an old one from the first record called Let Me In. Also, just a harkening back. I don't know if, Frank, you're still watching, but you mentioned that the singer from the Weaker Dance is called John K. Sampson. So, you know, writing a song about Samson. Multi-layered, I guess. But yeah, this is Let Me In for I think, did Sabrina request that one? Thanks so much for being here. Thanks so much to Christine for joining. And yeah, we'll be back next week. Same time, same place.
Paid up for me, stayed up for me, find me places, set my table on the run. She's out about the place. She's on the run. She's out. Laid on for your storied faith that sounds like home and bids on slow roads, drinking wine left there on the table. shine on me, greater hands to bear it. Hey, love, say, let me in. Hey, love, say, let me in.
Thanks so much for being here, everybody. It's been a treat, as it always is. Again, if you want to support, there is a link in the video description, and any amount is very much appreciated. It doesn't have to be. There's no minimum donation, as far as I know. No maximum donation either. It's been a treat to be here. I'll be back next Wednesday, same time, same places. Yeah, we'll all meet up then. But until then, thank you for being here. If you're watching on Twitch, we're going to go and raid something else to try and keep you in the mood. But yes, goodbye for now. Ta-ta.